everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Bisportuals. I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Cameron.
And I'm Kyle.
Thank you all so much for joining us on this wonderful new episode. The first round is done of the NBA playoffs. We will get to how we did, how we're feeling about the first round series that we did not talk about that wrapped up. But I know we're all doing well because the Timberwolves made it to the second round. Whether we'll be doing well at the end of this podcast is a different story. We are currently recording at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, May 6th, which many astute observers will note is during the Timberwolves game. So we will, of course, there will be no spoilers, even though the game will be long done. But we'll all of our takes and whatnot have been formulated beforehand. They will not be spoiled by the active happenings of this game.
After the recording of this episode, we will record our thoughts on the game and post it on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So if you want to see that,
please give us money.
Of course, we're gonna have Kyle's gonna take his hat off, and Cameron's gonna take his shirt off, and I'm gonna take my insulin pump off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Real spicy. That's why we got to put it behind the. That's why we got to put it behind the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
But before we hop into this discussion and talk of winning and losing and stats and points, assists, rebounds, what even is a stock? Who knows? But
I do.
I also know it's stock. It's steal plus assist.
Wait,
or it's steal block. It's steal block. I don't even know.
Say.
I don't even. That's desist. Stassist. We like to have fun here on Bisportuals, so let's play a game. This is going to be a primarily NBA focused episode, so let's get some NFL in here, just a taste, just a tinge. This is the Ant-Man Classic.
Ooh.
As many of you are aware, Anthony Edwards has said in interviews multiple times that if he wanted to, he could absolutely go and play in the NFL. He'd be, as he said, A1 from day one, which doesn't work anymore because he is not number one. He is now 85 instead of Ant 1. But
so is he 85 from day 5? Yeah.
Yeah, it takes him a couple days to ramp up.
It
takes him a couple days to ramp up. But then, however, we will be building our preferred NFL or NBA starting 5 from NFL players. So it's the reverse Ant-Man. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There's always debate. I know football players love to think that they could get in there, and basketball players love to think that they could just become a wide receiver really quickly, and everybody's wrong. Nobody could. But it's fun to think that. So, this draft, like all our drafts, normal snake draft rules apply. Kyle won the random number generator, so he will go first. It'll be Cameron and I will round out the back end of the first round until we have completed our elite 5-man roster of NFL players. All of these are active players, FYI.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kyle, with the first pick in the NFL to NBA Build a Team draft, who will the Kyle Springer Gingers be selecting?
You can't say that.
Sorry, Gingers.
Thank you. I think I'm going to start with my power forward because I feel like there's probably a name on a lot of our lists here that could go to the spot. He has played in some celebrity games for All-Star Weekend. He also currently is employed by the Cleveland Browns.
Fucker.
So I am taking Myles Garrett at the power forward.
You stupid whore.
I was really proud of that one. It's not a hard pull by any means, but again, look at his size. He is a bully on the edge, so he's going to be a bully in the paint. So I'm excited for Myles Garrett to be my starting 4.
Okay.
I mean, if you're taking 4, I'll take the other position that I think I had good picks for. At my point guard, I will take Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
He's tall, he's fast, he has great footwork, he's very accurate. I see him as maybe like a Trae Young,
Okay.
but taller.
Okay. See, when I approached,
Yeah, is Trae Young? Who's taller between Lamar and Trae Young? It's probably Lamar, right?
Lamar.
I think it's Lamar. It's got to be Lamar, because Trey's not that tall. When I approached this draft, a build was important, but I was looking at aesthetic. I was looking at the impact they bring to the field and how they can translate that. And in reality, what I realized is that all of these NFL players are they're too varied. So what we have to do to get them to succeed, we got to go back to basics. We got to talk about the fundamentals. Okay. This team is going to be a 90s nose to the grindstone fucking Greg Popovich coach team. He's going to be the most fundamental. And so I need a guy. I need a guy at point who can distribute but also can slash. Needs to be able to create for himself but can also pass when need be. And look, I gotta say, I'm looking at Muggsy Bogues was able to have success, so I'm betting on Kyler Murray.
He was my second option there. He was on my board.
He was my third, yeah.
And then to tie it, I think, do I want to go shooting guard here? No, I don't. I think we're gonna go to the front court and take a look at the center position, because center, this is a just true back to basket center. I need the big boys, and you know where we go for the big boys. We go to the trenches. Give me the biggest boy. Give me Jordan Davis.
I have a similar philosophy.
I am building the 2000 Lakers.
Yep, Shaq and Kobe.
I think I will move to my power forward next, and I'm going with Derrick Henry.
Okay.
I see him as
a different spot.
Player comp Giannis, run and dunk man.
I do like that comp.
You can't really box him out. I don't know. What are you going to do against Derrick Henry?
Yeah, you're going to have to try to draw
you can't do
charges.
anything in pads. What are you going to do?
But his footwork is going to be too nice. He's going to Euro around every attempt to take a charge. I like the pick.
Okay.
I like the pick.
So I'm going to save my point guard pick for last, and I will have to do some fact checking in the meantime, because I thought that this player had played a guard in high school before he actually played football. So again, I'm going to tease it there for who my point guard pick is. But for my shooting guard, because I'm going to start moving there, I think, obviously, if you couldn't tell at this point, we're Timberwolves fans. We're like really big Timberwolves fans. And there's a player on the Timberwolves by the name of Anthony Edwards, again, who the whole thing is named after. And he had this really cool... No.
What are you doing?
I'm not picking Anthony Edwards.
That's not fair.
I'm not picking Anthony Edwards.
Why does he get to pick a basketball player?
I wish I could. I'm keeping it fair and honest. But as both of you remember, there's this really cool photo shoot that he did with an NFL player from Minnesota. And I do think that they got some pretty comparable, egos, on the court, presence, and similar builds too. I know, there was the joke where it was if Ant lifted like JJ does, he'd also be 240. So JJ is just a bigger, stronger, low-key faster Ant. Imagine the pure power, the pure aura, you could even say, on the court. So that's gonna be my shooting guard. And then I'm going to slot into the small forward and pick this one. He's going to be like a 2-3 kind of mix guard. And someone I feel like I've picked
positionless
every
basketball.
time. Yeah, positionless. Again, we can alter, we can flow. There's no rigid structure to our team. Also, I believe this is
Thibodeau. We're going to run a deeper rotation. It's just this is all we're drafting for now. The rest will be undrafted free agents.
And acquiring, yeah. This is a player I believe that I have picked in almost every, if not every, like NFL draft that we've done. And if you can recall this, this would be Mr. DK Metcalf
Oh,
for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
he was on my
Again,
list.
He was
He
on
was
my
again,
on my
board
list.
for 4.
yeah,
I
he
had
My
him.
board
I
for
had him at my
4
4.
was
Yeah.
Miles, Henry, DK.
mhm. I was gonna say you and I had DK just as this 2-3 because I believe he also played in one of the celebrity games, and I want to say he was slotted at the 3 as a starter. So maybe it's a natural position for him, and he's just more inclined for it. And again, he's not necessarily like on the short side, but he's maybe shorter than some of the other players on this roster. So I feel like he could be a really good like wing defender, and just an elite scorer. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy with my picks.
If we're talking celebrity game, can I take Justin Bieber at the 2?
No.
He is not an active NFL player, Cameron. As much as you want to dream it, he is
He
not.
should be. No, I'm gonna go to the small forward as well. I'm gonna take Green Bay Packers defensive end Xavier McKinney. League leader in interceptions last year. I see him as a
Notably, FYI, notably not a defensive end.
or defensive
Back.
back. Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
The ends are edge rushers.
I know that. Don't worry about it.
That's
Yeah,
why you're
but
the silly one.
he's tall, fast. He's got long arms. I see him as sort of a Jaden McDaniels, Kawhi Leonard type.
Mm.
All up in the passing lanes. Can't really get past him because he's so quick and long. Great footwork.
Okay. I like it. I like the pickup. This means I'm for sure going shooting guard with one of my 2 here. And for shooting guard,
Are you
my
gonna see the
philosophy.
freaky white guy?
No,
Okay.
I'm not going to take the freaky white guy because the freaky white guy does too much running. All right. I need a spot up shooter. I need someone whose one job and one goal in life is to say, I can make this and I can do this. And there is no other option. There is no run game. There is no pass. If I get the open shot, I am taking it. So give me, for shooting guard, give me the cool white guy, Joe Burrow.
When you said that, I thought you were going to a different player that you are very fond of in Jameis Winston.
Oh, I
Just
do like that,
just
but his shooting,
again, deep ball.
yes, the deep ball is there, but Joe Burrow also has the deep ball,
with some
and
accuracy.
did not go 30 for 30.
Mhm.
So, if Joe Burrow was not on the board and a couple of these other guys weren't on the board, you're thinking the right archetype. You're thinking like me, but
Yep.
I went with somebody else. Otherwise, let's see. Do I want to go? Which of the forwards do I want to go? Okay, yeah. I'm going to go power forward here, I think. And I'm going to go ahead. I had a couple of guys in mind here. One of them is already off the board. But I'm thinking big. This guy's got youth on his side, so he could be a staple of the franchise for a while. And I need to hit my quota of white guys on the team. So give me Brock Bowers.
That's a solid pick. I like that.
Cameron
Notably,
Posty.
Ryan's drafting a very conservative team. Joe Burrow is probably a lesbian, but
And Kyler
Brock Bowers is
Kyler
just
Murray
like,
doesn't show up on
Anything.
double XP weekends. So that's my risk. Is that whenever these teams play, better not be during a double XP weekend.
Valid.
All right, Cameron.
All right. I'm gonna go to the center,
Okay.
and yeah, I kind of have similar philosophy with Ryan. Just fundamentals, like what is this position? Like what if I was constructing a team, what are the primary things I would want this position to do? Center, big body down low, can't box him out. Pretty big. He took a snap at wide receiver this year. So he's got footwork, he's got a little bit of speed. I'm talking about one of the biggest boys down in the trenches, Vita Vea.
I love it. I love the Vita Vea pickup.
I thought you were going to someone who was on my board.
You can have Dan Skipper.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Literally the tallest player in the NFL, standing at a whopping 6'10". I also want to say he weighs like 375 pounds. So again, the round mound rebound. Talk about something that you can't box out. Yeah, give me Dan Skipper. I hate to pick a Lions player in this, but it has to be done. Okay, so while Cameron was picking, in not this current round, but the previous round, I did fact check this individual to see if they played basketball in high school. And unfortunately, I was mistaken. They did not play basketball in high school. They currently play in a church league for basketball, like outside of the NFL season, which gives me life. It gives me some foundation here. This is just a guy that I don't know what it is. He screams point guard to me, and his name is Matthew Stafford. He seems like a really good facilitator. Again, he's a little bit on the older side, especially with this group. So again,
I feel
I kind
Ricky Rubio comp.
Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. Was like again just a real good like point guard, and again can do the dribble drives, do the pass outs, anything. I feel that he could really sneak in there on that. So
Matthew Stafford. It's a little. I mean, he can move.
Yeah.
But it's a little immobile for my point guard.
Yeah.
I
can
feel
respect
like you
that.
had some. I feel like there were some options
I was
still on the table.
I had a top tier. Yes.
Mahomes, if you wanted to go the scrappy white guy route, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what it was. Matt was just calling my name. It's a vibe. Again, it's a team dynamic. Maybe Baker doesn't click with some of the other guys on my roster. Maybe Pat doesn't click with some of the guys on my roster. I feel like Matt can really click with a lot of people.
Fair point. All right, Cameron.
I think my team is lacking a white guy, so I'm gonna take the freakiest one we got. Give me Josh. Looking at my favorite basketball team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, our starting shooting guard, Anthony Edwards, is very freaky. So why not get the freakiest white guy in the NFL to take that spot? He's hungry. His drive is like insane. He's freaky. Player comp white Anthony Edwards. He can run. He can throw. He's got a hell of an arm. He's strong.
I like it.
Maybe he can't jump as high, but
I mean, he did jump over that one Vikings linebacker against us. That
true.
He can jump,
and that's with pads on.
I think looking at small forward, I want someone who is not a wrecking ball, but can get to where they can get to their spots on the court, but also has some size to be able to play defense. I don't need... Yeah, okay, here we go. This is... we're going back to the Raider well here. Give me speedy, finesse, but also size, not afraid to go through you, and great contact balance. Give me Ashton Genty.
Ooh.
At my small forward.
Yeah.
See, this is a bully ball team that we are going to drive, and if the drive is not there, we're going to kick it to Joe Burrow, and he's not going to pass the ball again.
I feel like, for me, I have enough pure offensive firepower with Lamar, Josh, and Derrick Henry, so I wanted a lockdown perimeter guy and Xavier
Real
McKinney.
3-and-D kind of player.
I was going to say, my team is just, like, almost entirely offense. Like, I think I'll let you guys score like 130, but I'm hoping that we score like 135.
Not going to happen with
Dan
Vita
Skipper
Vea.
is not scoring on Jordan Davis. He is not backing him down.
Vita Vea is a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has footwork and can and jets because he did take a snap at wide receiver.
All right. Well,
he got open. That's all I'm saying.
Kyle started off the draft. His team will start in the front court, point guard. or backcourt,
Mhm.
point guard, shooting guard. Matthew Stafford at the point, Jay Jets at the 2. We got DK Metcalf at the 3, Myles Garrett at the 4, and rounding out Dan Skipper at center. Cameron, you are looking at point guard Lamar Jackson, followed by Josh Allen at the 2, Xavier McKinney at the 3, Derrick Henry at your 4, and Vita Vea, absolute brick shit house, at the 5. Whereas I have built a true 90s basketball team with Kyler Murray at the 1, white guy Joe Burrow at the 2, white guy Ashton Genty at the 3, or not white guy.
Wait, I was gonna
white,
say
What?
I meant I got him
Since
confused
when?
with his Raiders teammate, and I was thinking of Cam Scattervoo always.
Cam Scattenpoo.
Ashton
What team did
Genty
he go
at the
to?
3. No clue.
Poo.
He was at
Oh, New
Arizona
York
State.
Giants.
Yes.
White guy Brock Bowers at the 4, and then Jordan Davis, shit wrecker, at the 5. So go ahead, comment in the poll down below, or comment if you're on YouTube. Comment in the comment section. Let us know who won. But now it's time to stop thinking about who might win and talk about who did win. Let's go ahead. Since our last episode, we have the rest of the round 1 series that did not have finish beforehand have now finished. Which means we can officially score our predictions for round 1 and get into round 2. Cameron, would you like to begin our recap?
Yeah, let's start with the final Eastern Conference series we didn't talk about. That is New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks ended up winning in 6 games. Me and Kyle both had Knicks in 5, and Ryan had the Pistons in 6. So me and Kyle each get 1 point there.
Yeah, I thought this was a really close series for the Pistons.
Yeah.
Yes.
It very
agree.
well could have been Pistons in 6. But didn't go their way. The Knicks, I guess the Pistons were not a good enough team where the Knicks are unable to function against them.
Yeah, the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau loves Mikal Bridges more than Mikal Bridges' wife loves Mikal Bridges, and more than Tom Thibodeau loves his own wife. I'll put it that way.
You could say that.
That
and
was a
there
way
is
to
some
put it.
validity there.
Kyle, what did you? Any reflections on the Knicks Pistons?
The one that comes to mind is really just Jalen Brunson's like dagger 3. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, he is the clutch player of the year. That was tough.
Mhm.
And again, I love Karl Anthony Towns. I like when the Knicks win. It was a good series. It was fun to watch. So just all in all, like good playoff basketball. I saw the joke today where it was like watching playoff basketball and your team isn't involved, and it's just like bliss. It's just so happy. That's how I felt watching that series particularly. It's just like, man, this is good basketball.
I
so
feel like if
appreciate
it had gone to a game 7, there would have been like a full-blown fight. The tension
absolutely.
Probably.
I was genuinely surprised
was
that there wasn't.
palpable.
Yeah, I'm
And
surprised there
somehow
wasn't scraps.
that wasn't the most contentious game of the series, or the most contentious series in the first round. Somehow,
No.
a series
Yeah,
with
that
the
would
Knicks and the
be-
Pistons. Yeah,
That would be the Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors ended up winning in 7 games, which me and Ryan predicted. Kyle said Houston in 7. So no points for him, 2 points for us.
Wait, I don't even get the points for saying it's going to go to 7. Man, that's
Nope, that's a
bullshit.
bonus point.
That is some bullshit.
I
you predicted
disagree.
the wrong team.
You got to pick the team first.
Tough.
Team prediction comes first.
I'm sad now. That's not fun.
You should be.
Again,
You got it wrong. You said the
Yeah.
you said the
Look,
It's
Rockets
I
in their
would-
first playoff appearance would beat
I
the
didn't
very
realize.
experienced Golden State Warriors in a game 7.
I would be more
I
concerned if you
didn't
were happy
realize.
that you lost.
I mean, true. But I didn't realize that Jalen Green was going to be a playoff dropper and just forget how to play basketball in a game 7.
He was at Wingstop.
Yeah, I know.
He
I
had
couldn't bet on
one-
that. That's on me.
He had 1 out of 7 games in the playoffs. He had a 38-point performance in Game 6 to bring it to a Game 7, but other than that, entirely stinkers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, I wasn't able to predict that. That's on me. Again, I'll have to go to the star signs, do my little astral projection, and do better for this next round of predictions.
You better hope. All right, and I believe there was just one more series that hadn't wrapped.
No, there are 2 more.
Oh, two more.
Yeah, next up, Another series I went to 7. Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. All of us predicted the Clippers. You and Kyle said in 6. I said in 7. So none of us get any points there. But yeah, this was a really tight series. It could have gone either way, but then Denver just walked away with it in Game 7. The Clippers, it felt like James Harden remembered
James
that he's
Hardened.
old. You
He
remember
James
that?
Hardened.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's now 0-4 in Game 7s.
Kawhi Leonard, he's lost Game 7s with 4 different teams now, I think.
No,
Three
that's
or
what it was.
three, yeah.
James Harden remembered that he can't perform in the playoffs.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard had a pretty good game, but the other
Wasn't
players who
enough.
wanted to step up, Ivica Zubac,
Norman Powell.
Norman Powell, yeah, they just didn't really do much. And on Denver's side, you've got Aaron Gordon, who's been having an incredible playoff run. We'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought Denver's, like, this coach hasn't been in for very long as the head coach. He was an assistant there for a bit, but I thought that lack of inexperience would come to play, especially against a coach like Ty Lue, who has won an NBA Finals before.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would come down to coaching, and cool that the Nuggets won. I mean, they fought hard.
Yeah, boy, what a series from Aaron Gordon.
One more series.
One more series.
That would be the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Los Angeles Lakers, in which the Minnesota Timberwolves won in 5 games. Me and Ryan, glad we're wrong. We both said Lakers in 7.
Thank God.
Kyle said Wolves in 6. Thank God you're wrong. It was Wolves in 5.
Yeah, I know.
You still get a point there.
Wolves are back, baby.
Yeah.
God,
I don't even know what to say. Anthony Edwards played one of his worst. Like, Rudy! Anthony Edwards was so bad in Game 5. At least from a shooting perspective, he did still put up a lot of assists and rebounds, and he was a presence there, other than when it came to actually scoring the basketball. But Rudy Gobert, after scoring, I believe, 18 points in games 1 through 4.
That might even be a bit high.
It was, yeah. No, that is high. I think it was 12.
Yeah, he did not do a lot of scoring early on.
You can criticize Jackson Hayes all you want, but the game he got benched, Rudy Gobert went off for 28 points and 24 rebounds.
True. It's also because in the other games, Rudy Gobert was borderline. He was great defensively, but offensively he was borderline unplayable.
Yeah.
Because he was just a black hole of offense.
And the Lakers decided, hey, we're not going to guard him anymore.
They learned why you just have to put
He just had so many wide open lanes. It was insane.
You just got to have, like, one guy. He doesn't even have to be good. He could be Jackson Hayes. But if you have nobody...
But they chose to do fucking Dwight Powell Lakers debut.
Maxi Kleber.
Maxi Kleber.
Yeah,
Maxi Kleber Lakers debut.
Yeah.
Instead of playing Jackson Hayes any minutes in that game. Boy, JJ Redick is a stubborn motherfucker.
Yeah. Yep.
He is reportedly back for another season. LeBron is reportedly not retiring, at least this season. We don't know if he's going to be on the Lakers or not.
Does he have a player option?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to be on the Lakers.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on the Lakers. He wants to probably finish his career there.
You know, the people are always talking, saying shit.
Mm-hmm. But he a Laker.
Yeah, probably. He got to thug it out with Bronny.
Yeah.
Because another team isn't going to sign him. Unfortunately.
Not unless the Cavs get thumped by the Pacers, maybe, and it's like, bring it home one last time.
Oh, man.
But...
yeah, do we want to start off by talking about that series?
Cameron, do you want to give us a quick point total after the first round?
Oh, yeah. After the first round, Kyle is in 3rd place with 7 points. Ryan is in 2nd place with 9 points, and I am in the lead with 12.
Oh, boy. Okay, we got some work to do, Kyle.
I was going to say we. I got work to do just to try and catch up to you. There's
Fair
no
point.
chance I'm catching Cam at this point.
Well, that's why the games are played. Surely all of my predictions are still intact for the second round. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the Cavs.
We put in our second round predictions Monday morning, May 5th. So the Cavs and Pacers had already played one game. Granted, even with that influence, our predictions are still doing bad for that. We wanted to wait until after the Rockets Warriors game 7 finished so we knew who Minnesota was playing before making predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the series, you guys said Cleveland in 7. I said Cleveland in 6. And Indiana, after a big upset at home, or big upset on the road, they come into game 2. The Cavs are missing 3 of their starting 5. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter all out. Cavs are kind of running away with it, but the Pacers start to pick it back up in the fourth quarter. With less than a minute left, they're down by 6. They bring it all the way back. There's a steal on one end. I believe it was Nemhart who got fouled on the other end. He's got 2 free throws while the Cavs are up by 3 points. He makes the first one. He intentionally misses the second one. Kick out to Tyrese Halliburton, 3. Pacers win. Absolutely insane finish. And Pacers take both of the games in Cleveland, which
It's
not
hard
looking
to do.
good for the Cavs or our predictions.
No.
Hopefully, at least Darius Garland will be back for game 3. He's been out since game 4 of the Heat series.
Yeah, but the prevailing theory going around right now for the last like 10 to 15 years of playoff basketball, it was always who has the best player. What team has the best player in the series? It is now becoming, and I know some people have already talked about this, but it is now becoming not who has the best, but who has the weakest link in the series. And we saw it with the Minnesota Lakers series. The weakest, it was not about who the best player was, because arguably at the time the best player was Luka Doncic. And it was about who has the weakest weakness, which is the Lakers had no rim protection, no front court to speak of, no rebounding, and that's what ended up determining the game. If Indiana wins, we have to have a serious talk about how you have to build playoff teams. Now, Indiana doesn't have a star, or they have Tyrese Halliburton, but they don't
Pascal
have
Siakam.
But they don't have like Donovan Mitchell.
Superstar.
They don't have Nikola Jokic. They don't have Luka Doncic. But where's their real weakness?
They got the power of friendship.
Yeah, it's like
I think their biggest weakness is Tyrese Halliburton being a spotty shooter at times, but
for sure. But if you're relying on Tyrese Halliburton to have a bad game instead of just like
your primary scorer.
Yeah. Instead of like, oh, there's some exploitable flaw, like maybe this team's bigs don't crash the boards well, or maybe this team is not great in transition, or this team is not a great 3-point shooting team. If you do all of it at least okay, it's tough. We're going to have the conversation of how you build a contender in this league.
Yeah, I do think the injuries are hurting the Cavs right now. They are a pretty deep team, but that top-end talent is undeniable. Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley's out. That's not good, especially against a team that can get hot as fast as the Pacers can.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pacers are surprisingly big, too. So especially just like in the paint, like that's going to be a critical piece if Evan Mobley's out for multiple games, not just this one.
I don't know his injury status at the moment.
Let me check.
Okay. Darius Garland, he had a toe injury. The team came out and said, like, yeah, if this was in the regular season, he would be out for like at least 2 weeks. but it's the playoffs. He really wants to get back. He was probable for game 1, ruled out, probable for game 2, ruled out. So maybe they just saw something, like maybe a little hitch in his step that they didn't like, and they decided to keep him out for another game, wait until he's fully healthy to not risk a further injury and get him at his best.
So Mobley and Hunter were originally considered TBD for game 2, and then they sat them both. So I could it's very possible that Mobley at least could be back on Friday
Soon,
the release of this episode. It is possible. It's also possible that he won't be back till game 4 or later, possibly. It's whether how much of a chance do they think they have of winning a game in Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at their best, these are two of the highest flying offenses in the league. So this will definitely be a fun series. It's been a fun series so far, especially the ending to this game 2 that just happened.
Oh yeah, Kyle, any take?
No, we kind of covered all my bases on this one. Again, exciting series. Can't wait to watch it end, and obviously just have to keep an eye on the injuries.
Yeah. All right, then let's move on to the other matchup in the East, which I still have totally a spotless prediction for, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics are playing the New York Knicks. Game 1 happened on Monday the 5th, in which the Knicks were down 20 in the third quarter, but came back, tied the game, brought it to overtime, and just walked away with it in overtime. Jason Tatum is one of the least clutch players I've ever seen with recency bias. He was just atrocious in the fourth and in overtime. I was like, I texted in our group chat, I really hoped you were watching. Because that was
brought me such joy.
Elite Tatum tomfoolery. Yeah, so
straight bumming.
Ryan said Boston in 4, I said Boston in 5, Kyle said Boston in 6. That means Ryan's prediction is already wrong, as the Boston Celtics can't sweep the series anymore. Me and Kyle are still in play, but I'm hanging on by a thread for both of these series out east.
See, my prediction was less so about the Celtics and more so about the Knicks, which is that I just didn't see a way that the Knicks were gonna, like, I didn't know what their avenue to win had to be Boston has a bad game, which, to be fair, worked for them in game 1. Boston shot...
They missed 45 threes.
Yeah.
They shot 15 for 60, at least in regular play before overtime. I don't remember what it was at final, but they missed 45 threes, which is a team record. I don't know if it was a league record. Maybe it was a playoff record.
Boston is the only team that even takes that many threes on average. And in reality, that kind of stat, like percentage, is going to be a playoff record for the next 10 minutes until the Minnesota game finishes. But
dude, Dante is so pissed. I know you said no spoilers, but
dude, well, we're shooting 4 of 24 from 3. It is.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's not great, but game's not over till it's over. But I didn't think the Knicks could out tough the Celtics because the Celtics have the pedigree. I didn't think the Knicks could outshoot the Celtics because the Celtics usually shoot better. I didn't think that they could out-scheme the Celtics because Tibbs only plays 7 guys. I thought down the stretch those guys would be tired because it is Tibbs, and the Knicks would be able to lean on a Peyton Pritchard, a Sam Hauser, whatever white guys they got sitting on their bench.
Luke Cornett.
I was wrong in game 1. Jason Tatum was back on the playground out there like he was a boy in kindergarten, except it was a real court and he was getting fucking throttled. It brought me joy.
He kept taking such bad threes. Like at the end of the shot clock, he would always just hold on to the ball and shoot a 3.
He was like, "Hey guys,
no
check
attempt to
out,
drive whatsoever.
check out this contested 3." Or no, what's the SpongeBob? Want to see me take a contested 3 at the end of the shot clock?
Want
Want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
That was Jason Tatum.
Just poor decision making.
Mm-hmm. It's okay when you're a second or third option on a team. That's okay.
I think going forward in the series, I still have faith in my prediction for this one. Knicks obviously brought it back, but this was a historically bad shooting night for the Celtics, who are, I think, probably the most 3-point, like, built, structured team in the NBA at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a shooting night like that happening again for Boston. And again, Knicks, I think they just came off of a 6-game series. Not much rest between these series. I think it's going to start to get to them like it usually does for Tibbs teams in the playoffs around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my only defense for like Knicks in 6, and I sent it right after we sent our predictions, was I just had a feeling that like Brunson was going to, like Cat was going to have like one good game where he's going to realize, wait a second, I'm like the tallest player on the court right now. Let me just like drive to the paint.
Porzingis is 7'2".
Yeah. But again,
Pingus.
Cat's gonna remember that he's 7'1". So again, just that ideology. I think that Cat's gonna have like one really good game where he just kind of carries them. Brunson was gonna have a really good game where he clutches up, something.
Which he did.
Which he did. So there's one.
That was a big, like, OG Anunoby had a great game.
Yes,
Mikal
it was
Bridges
more than
had a
just
great game.
him.
Yeah.
Well, when
I
you
need
only
to reduce
play
the Knicks to just that.
When you only play 7 guys or 8 guys, it's like you
Mikal
need.
Bridges was out there for 50 minutes and he was still a defensive menace.
Mm-hmm.
It
gotta
was
have.
yeah.
But you have to. Your worst guy can't be like 4 points. It's like, most of your guys have to score
have 15 to 20,
10 to 15. Yeah,
at least double digits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So again, like, I didn't want to discredit the Knicks like that, but it was just a very generic like summary of like, hey, here's how these games are going to kind of go for the Knicks, and then the rest of it is just going to be Celtics, being the Celtics. Again, Ryan said it of if they have a bad night and that's your only opportunity to win is they have to suck for you to win, then you have a problem. Just down the stretch of the series. So. Again, I trust that the Celtics are obviously going to rebound from this. I don't see them losing game 2. I know they're probably going to take one in MSG because statistically the Knicks haven't beaten like any of these big teams, especially at home. So I know the Celtics are going to take one in New York. I don't see New York like dropping both games in New York, especially since they have found a little bit of a recipe for success. So that's where I see either game 3 or game 4 going to the Knicks, and then the rest of the way would be the Celtics, in my eyes.
All right. Well, that's it for the East. Before we get to the West, we are going to, these playoffs, they contain a lot of contentious folks. A lot of people with history, a lot of people with anger, and a lot of people we don't like.
We just mentioned Jason Tatum in that last series, who
I don't like him. We'll get to a lot of players that Kyle doesn't like when we get to the West. But we decided, the public deserves to know how we feel on certain players, on where certain players sit in our list of appreciability, and most importantly, which players we would rather see sent on a one-way trip into the sun. So we have each created our top 10 most hated NBA players. I have a couple of honorable mentions, but then we will go ahead and reveal them one tier at a time, all of our lists of our most hated NBA players.
I also have an honorable mention. I don't know if Cam does, but...
No, I don't.
Right, Kyle, would you like to begin with your honorable mention?
Yes. This is a man that I've ragged on countless times. But in my actual true heart of hearts, in my soul, I don't really hate him. I have hated on him so much. And that is Damian Lillard. He does not make my top 10 for hated players.
Very big. Very big of you, Kyle.
My number 10 is a similar reason.
my two honorable mentions. One of them, yes, he's a rules lawyery bitch, and I don't like him for that. But
Child
also,
porn.
Lob
Yeah.
City. It's Chris
I
Paul.
dude,
Child porn,
now
three
that
CP0 rings.
I don't know why. I'm gonna be. That is also one of my honorable mentions. I totally forgot about CP3, and in particular when he called us on a delayed game on the
His jersey's
Thunder.
untucked. His jersey's
Yeah,
untucked.
I literally that moment. I have never seen more red in my life. Like I was
What
so pissed.
and what he and
Was that when
Wemby
Chris
did.
Paul was on the Thunder?
Yes, and it
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
against us. It was like I think it was a regular season game. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it
like a
was.
playoff
Yeah.
game or a play-in game or
The
nothing. It was. It
Wolves
was just
did
a
not make the playoffs at that
Yeah, I
time.
know,
No.
I know. But again, it was just like the way that it happened. Again, we were about to win the game, and he calls us on that stupid fucking tech. Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
bringing back memories now.
But also, Lob City. It's one of my favorite teams in the history of basketball is the Lob City Clippers because I'm a huge Blake Griffin fan. And who was feeding him the lobs? It was Chris
Hmm.
Paul, and so I have to give some respect there. And the other guy, Kyle, you're gonna hate me. Kyle,
Oh
you're gonna
boy,
hate me.
oh boy.
I love the free throw merchant narratives as much as anybody else, but objectively, you watch the basketball. I can't hate him enough to put SGA in my top 10.
He's nowhere near my list.
I don't I enjoy hating on him. It brings me joy and I think it's fun, but I just can't hate him like I hate these other players.
Yeah, I mean, like he as I said, he's nowhere near my list. But you did come up with the name shit gay ass, so
True.
I feel it's fair for you to have an honorable mention.
Shit does come out of his gay ass. All right, shall we go ahead and hop in to the true top 10?
Hi, hi, hi.
All right.
Of course,
May I begin?
yes.
Yeah,
At number 10. I don't hate is a very strong word sometimes for this guy, but at moments it is hate. And other times I just feel bad for him, even though he is a fucking snake and he'll never win another playoff series. I have Kevin Durant at number 10
Wow,
for me.
wow.
I just sometimes I hate him, but other times I'm just like, man, you
he's just so good though.
Yeah,
sure he can get a bucket, but he can't lead a team, and he is not. He does have a good Twitter. I'll give him
true.
that. I'll give him that
Look
as
at
well.
look right
Look
behind Cam.
behind me. Yeah,
Yeah. um, but I just don't like him. But I don't hate him all the time like I do some
Right.
of these other players. All right, Kyle, you want to hit us with the number 10?
Yeah, my number 10 was someone that was in the Timberwolves' most recent playoff series before our current one that we're in. And I have like two main reasons for keeping him on my list. His name is Jackson Hayes. The first one, for those uninformed, Jackson Hayes is a known woman abuser. In particular, his partner. I believe he has multiple domestic abuse cases with this individual. So bad guy. Don't like him. Boo. Not cool. The other reason is prior to this Timberwolves basketball series or playoff series, he said that Rudy Gobert is his assignment, but not his main focus. And how dare you speak ill on Rudy Gobert like that, you son of a bitch. Rudy Gobert is so much better than you. I hate you for even speaking ill on the leader of the RG27 Dragon Emoji family.
that's fair. Yeah,
Again, my face is going to be so red at the end of this.
That's the point.
I guess I'm not as negatively passionate about basketball as these guys are, because this was a pretty hard list for me. I wanted to keep it to strictly basketball reasons, but some other reasons had to show up to make a full 10. And even at number 10, this isn't a player that I like hate. I would say there are only probably only three that I hate, and they're all at the top.
Man, you gotta up your hating game.
Yeah. You need to
I just like
fester. You need to build your hate. Grow.
I just like basketball. This is a player that I do love to hate on, though. I think everyone loves to hate on him. Can't deny, great scorer. Made it to the finals one time, but he also is Luka Doncic's son. I've got Devin Booker at number 10. When he's bad, he gets pissy, and it's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just say we'll be discussing him in a little
Yes,
bit.
we'll
Okay.
be discussing Devin Booker more.
Okay, yeah. Luka Doncic is Devin Booker father, and Anthony Edwards is Luka Doncic father. So,
Therefore, by the transitive property, Anthony Edwards is Devin Booker grandfather.
Grandfather,
correct.
Yeah.
Keep
Cam,
going
you wanna
down
go
the
ahead?
line, or do we
Yeah.
want to snake it?
Nah, go ahead, Cam.
So yeah,
Snake it.
At number 9, I have a basketball player that it feels like a disgrace to call him a basketball player to other basketball players. This guy is a team employee. You know who I'm talking about. Kyle
yeah.
Kuzma.
I'm surprised he wasn't higher for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so pathetic. Like,
It's pity.
I don't have any hate for him just because it's just sad.
Yeah.
I have that reasoning with a couple other players who have higher, but there are more off the court reasons why I do as well.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma, he has said some stupid shit on Twitter, like,
It was that Elon Musk one, right?
Elon Musk posted a video of JD Vance talking, and he responded, awesome video. He also tweeted out, at this point, it's like, just don't be that team.
Yep.
Amidst the Pistons losing streak that the Wizards almost matched the season with him on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Milwaukee Bucks employee Kyle Kuzma.
At this point, it's just don't be Kyle Kuzma.
At this point,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Why would you want
don't.
to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kyle.
All right, my 9th most hated player. This one, I just had to throw a name out there, and as I was sitting here, I thought it would be kind of for my Minnesota Timberwolves bias to play into this. It would be Anthony Simmons of the Portland Trailblazers. Simons, sorry, and I don't respect him enough to even accurately say his name, because he has tried to co-opt the nickname Ant. He is not Ant. He is not Ant. Our glorious God King, Anthony Edwards, is Ant.
He did
No
have
one
a
else
great
is.
dunk performance contest, though.
Yes, he did. Like, again, basketball, don't care. Don't care about him as a man. Don't care about him as a player. I just care that he's trying to take the nickname from our glorious God King.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not cool.
Get your own.
Mm-hmm.
His name would be Amph.
Amph.
I
There's
don't
no
care.
T in his name. No,
That,
no. I agree with your point. That's stupid.
Yes. It's a stupid nickname for him to have.
Yeah.
Just, even just be like AS or something. Just do your initials.
Ass. Be ass.
ASS.
Yes. Yeah. Again, it rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. I get it.
That's totally fair.
There's sort of an archetype of players that we'll see on here. I have a couple on here of just like, you love them when they're on your team, but when they're on any other team, you fucking hate them.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I think, is the least offensive of this archetype. Mainly because he just doesn't infuriate me that much for some reason. And that is the man currently either on a plane or already in Cancun. It is Dylan Brooks at number 9 for me. It started when he was in Memphis and said LeBron is 40, so I don't respect him.
Yeah, he just decided one day to be an absolute menace to get media attention, and it worked for him.
It worked for him.
Did. You got a bag.
I just don't.
And an all-defensive team.
Yeah, there's not same with how I felt about Kevin Durant. There's not like a roiling rage in my heart when I imagine this guy. There's just a.
Yeah, his face is a little punchable, but
He does.
Agreed.
He does seem like he's a punchable guy, but yeah,
I
that's where
like
I'm
him
sitting.
as a player on the court in terms of what he brings to a team, like his
For sure.
defensive presence, his shooting.
Yeah, he does provide value on the court. I just he's eh.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, really solid
Now,
analysis.
now we're gonna go to his seatmate on that plane to Cancun. Different team, but boy, this guy has a significant part in ruining the game of basketball. And he also had a significant part in missing 28 straight threes. This is James Harden at number 8 for me. I this is where we start to get like angry.
Okay.
I don't like
okay.
James Harden. I don't like James Harden. I like I'm okay with like modern post fat James Harden. Like Clippers Harden, I'm kind of okay with. I was kind of okay with Philly Harden, but like Rockets Harden was one of the most infuriating players in the league to me, and I
He was
hated
just
it.
that damn good.
He was that damn good. He could shoot the lights out, but also he was a foul baiter.
Yeah, he was really the kind of
Like
the
the
He was the
primogenesis
face of that
of
movement
Yeah.
at the time.
yeah, of the unusual launch angles in order to jump
And
into people.
Yeah, kickouts.
Mm-hmm. And I'll never forgive him for that.
That's
But
fair.
I do want to
he's
say
senile. He's a senile old man now, and I can't really hate him as much.
I do want to say it's a little funny how he and Lil Baby are in a situationship.
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of funny.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
All right.
All right. My 8th least favorite player is someone on the Denver Nuggets. He is
Really?
It may not be the one you think it is, because I do have 2 Denver Nuggets on here.
Oh,
Part of that is
do you have?
because no, just let me talk. Let me speak my piece. The Denver Nuggets are rivals to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and in the playoff series against the Timberwolves last season, this individual did something really just inexcusable. And he took a heat pack that he had and he threw it on the court. What the fuck? Like, come on, you could have hurt. I want to say it almost hit Naz Reid. Oh no, it was Cat.
Cat almost stepped on it.
Yes, he could have seriously injured someone on the basketball court, and in broad daylight through that. Like, there was no restraint. There was no, like, I shouldn't do this. Like, no hesitation. He just fucking threw it on the ground. And I hate him for it. That is Jamal Murray. Also, on the train of, like, being bad to women, he did, like, leak his own sex tape, which is not cool because I don't believe his partner at the time consented to that. So that's not cool.
Aren't they still together?
They are, but still, like, non-consensually leaking a sex tape is not cool.
I agree. At first I thought you were going to say Westbrook when you said another Nugget because I know who you got higher.
Yes.
And I was going to get mad at you for saying Westbrook, but you didn't, so it's okay.
Look,
no.
You know, Jamal Murray is a whiny little bitch baby.
He is. Like,
I respect it.
He gets it from his coach. If we had coaches on here, oh boy, we would be here for 3 hours of me talking about Mike Malone. Which, like, again, he is not employed anymore. But still, I would be here forever talking about Mike Malone. But yeah, Jamal, he's just that. He doesn't exude any, like, good faith. Like, he doesn't seem like a good person to me. He's again super whiny. He's egotistical. He throws tantrums on the court. And it's like, bro, you are like 33 years old. Get it together.
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
Enough said. All right, Cameron.
At number 8, I've got a guy who you guys are definitely going to have higher, who's actually playing basketball right now. That is Draymond Green.
Oh, yeah, I have him way higher.
Yeah.
I do have him higher.
He did
not as high as some may think.
Rudy Gobert. He did stomp on Sabonis. Didn't he, like, get arrested? Or was that Nurkic?
No, that wasn't Nurkic. That was Stewart. Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah. Okay.
But he did.
He also kicked Steven Adams in the nuts.
Twice.
He did. Yeah.
Twice.
Just
not a good guy.
unbelievable legacy of
Hate.
injuring other players, getting way too angry. He punched his own teammate. The reason I have him this low is because he is one of, if not the biggest bronzexual there is. And I respect that.
Yeah.
True. He can acknowledge greatness.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hit us with your number 7?
Number 7, I have a player who Kyle talked about earlier, Jackson Hayes, abuser. Why is he in the league? Yeah, I just needed some more players to put up here, so I have a few guys who are just criminals. And I don't know, I didn't rank them too high because at least a couple that I have down here aren't good at basketball. So it's just like, why are you even in the league? Yeah, I completely disavow their actions, and so people who shouldn't be in the NBA because they're just terrible people, they would be a lot higher. But this is just personal dislike of both on the court and off the court reasons. Jackson Hayes here I have at number 7.
Shitty guy and played himself off the court in a series.
He did play himself off the court when he was... Yeah, why didn't they just play Rudy Gobert off the court? He should have done that.
Yeah.
And when... Yeah, Kyle talked about it earlier.
Yeah. Solid placement. Solid placement.
Yeah. Speaking of abusers, this guy is still employed by the Charlotte Hornets, which is incredibly unfortunate. His name is Miles Bridges. He is a bad man. He also... Was it sexual assault or was it just domestic abuse?
Don't want to talk about specifics of what he did because it was bad, but it was mostly just domestic abuse, I believe.
Yep. It was, again, egregious and just awful. He is not a good person. He should not be in the NBA. Like Campbell was just saying about Jackson Hayes. Again, not cool. He also works for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, you have him at 7. I have him at 6. Exact same reasons.
Man, I feel bad. I start to feel bad for the guy I put here at 7 because he's in tier with 2 abusers, and he did, as far as I know, he didn't commit any crimes except the crime of being a cringy motherfucker and not the best player on the Celtics. I have Jason Tatum here at 7.
We did it!
God, absolute aura farming, no fucking presence. I would be so much less upset with Jason Tatum if he just did 2 things. One, if he didn't have the public persona that he has, which is this, it feels saccharine to me. It feels like, I'm a basketball player. I'm here to play basketball. There's nothing. He's nothing. He's a fucking faceless entity that puts up 27, 8, and 9. If he just acknowledged that it's just like, yep, this is like a Nikola Jokic approach to basketball. Like, yep, this is a job to me. I'm not like, I don't have the killer mentality like Anthony Edwards does. I don't have the pedigree like a LeBron does, but I'm good. I play basketball. I'm good at it. Next question. I wouldn't hate him. The other reason I hate him is because Celtics Twitter fucking loves him. And I hate Celtics Twitter.
Him so hard.
I see so many... You know how many tweets I have seen?
Ryan, I'm sorry to break the news to you, but your profile picture is a Celtics player.
Let's be clear. Brian Scalabrine transcends team. The White Mamba is not a Celtics player. He is an NBA legend.
MNBA, let's clarify.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, it's not my profile. It's some guy named Dunleavy Shuckle. It's not my profile.
Yeah.
But the amount of tweets, the second round of the playoffs has not even begun, and the amount of tweets that I have seen that are just like, when Tatum wins Finals MVP, we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. No, the fuck we're not.
Hey, dog, you got 12 games to win.
He's not winning Finals. He's not winning the Finals. He's not winning Finals MVP. Nothing infuriates me more than a player who truly does not deserve the amount of hype that he gets. Just with so much smoke being blown up his ass. It's part of the reason that I'm not as pissed at SGA, and I don't hate SGA as much, because he's really good at basketball. Jason Tatum is just good at basketball. He's not an MVP. He's not, like, I don't think
he's first team All NBA this season for sure.
Yeah, but I that's also at the small forward position. What's his competition at small forward?
It's positionless now.
Oh, then
That's
I might put him on second team. But oh wait, yeah, because you can just have like 5 or 4 front court players now.
Because Embiid kept getting pushed to second team.
Yeah, fucker, I hate him.
We'll get to him.
We will get to him.
We'll all get to him.
Yep.
But Jason Tatum, just if it were just purely basketball, I would not hate Jason Tatum nearly as much as I do. But it's not, and therefore I do. Fuck you, Jason Tatum.
Preach.
And then,
yeah, I think we can all agree Tatum isn't going to be the Finals MVP because it's going to be Naz Reid.
yes.
Or Mike Conley.
More likely Naz Reid.
More likely Naz Reid.
Yeah.
But on to number 6. We're back in the archetype for me. We're back in the archetype of hate them if they're on the other team, love them if they're on your team. And that's why, Kyle, you may still love him. But I fucking hate Patrick Beverley.
No, that's valid.
So much.
Yeah, I respect that.
I disliked him until he had that interview, or he had that post-game thing with the reporter, and he was like, "Are you subscribed to my podcast?" Then I'm not answering your question.
Like, he's just a douche, unfortunately.
He started talking shit about Kat after he left.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one player that gets to talk about their podcast that much, and that's Paul George.
Because he's a podcaster first.
He's a podcaster who moonlights in the NBA
first. Yeah.
Yes.
But, God. And then he went and fucking played in
And
Israel.
then he was like, oh, this country is committing a genocide. Why don't I take my talents there?
Mm-hmm. Instead of...
Guess what? There weren't any talents.
Instead of taking his talents to South Beach, he took them to the East Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Very, very reasonable. I honestly expected him to be higher for you.
No, I got some names up here.
Yeah, we're gonna have some quality as we get into the top of this board.
I mean, to be fair, I also thought Tatum would be higher for you.
Some of these guys.
I can't wait. Okay, number 6 for me is someone who has been actually. We talked about Devin Booker earlier. This is someone who has been mentioned before on this list. He plays for the Phoenix Suns. I hate to refer to him as his real name, so I love referring to him as Devin Boobker.
You can just say Anthony Edwards' grandchild now.
Yeah, again, Ant's grandson. He is such a whiny little bitch on the court. He has arguably, I know it was an argument that we've had before, he has arguably like a top 10 punchable face, if not top 5. And, you know, he's got some conversation in there for punchable faces. But the main thing that made me lose so much respect for him was last year during the Suns-Wolves playoff series where he drove Mike Conley into Chris Finch. That was an intentional act.
Yes.
That was intentional. Everything that man does on the basketball court is intentional. And he intentionally drove Mike Conley into our coach. That is fucked up. He, again, seems like a bad person there. Like, he has ill intention. I feel like he is just a dirty player. And then he is constantly complaining to the ref of like, oh my God, why the fuck was that a call? Like, again, saying things that, like, if Naz Reid went and said those things to the NBA referee, he is tossed out of the game immediately. He's getting fined $300,000, and he has to go to rehab for 3 weeks of like, why are you such a bad person? But Devin Booker gets to do it every game because he's Devin Booker.
He's got the Luka effect of being able to just bitch the ref with no consequences.
Again, it's insane. And to me, he's not necessarily this like superstar. He
Wait,
was
let
for
me
a
pull
little
up a
bit.
Family Guy meme that describes that situation while you keep talking.
Yeah. Um, like to me, he's not a superstar. I hate to say that he has like a signature shoe with Nike. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve any collab in that way. I really feel that he needs to be forced to retire because I do not like him that much. And it would be really funny if they force him to retire because then they would have to blow up the Suns and they could send the Suns into the sun, which is what I think that they should do to Devin Booker. They should send them into the sun.
Damn right. Fuck Devin Booker.
Yes.
I'll get to Devin Booker later.
Can't you find that clip?
Complaining to the refs tier list.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
true.
it.
Yeah. All right, Cameron, it is number 6 to you.
Yeah, number 6, as I said earlier, Miles Bridges. Don't want to talk about him anymore. He doesn't deserve it. Why is he still in the NBA? Number 5, I'm going back to archetype that Ryan talked about, a player that you love when he's on your team but hate when he's on another team. And for this reason, I think Kyle might still love him. I'm going with Patrick Beverley.
What?
Yeah, I truly hate this man. I'm just thinking back to the interview where a reporter came up to him and asked him a question, and he said, "Are you subscribed to my podcast? If not, get out of here."
No way. I've never heard that story before. That's actually so fucked up.
This is really insightful analysis.
Yeah.
Like how could he do that to just a nice and humble reporter?
Yeah, God.
And then he started talking shit about Cat after he left the Timberwolves. Why would you do that? He saw a country doing a genocide, and he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna take my talents there." Instead of taking his talents to South Beach, he took him to the East Bank.
Oh,
I
you
can't with
even
you.
you even got my mistake in the joke.
Yeah.
There's no East Bank.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's the West Bank.
I was copying everything. If you didn't realize, you might be experiencing deja vu a little bit.
No?
What?
Oh,
Deja? I've never met her.
Deja
is she
who?
hot?
I mean, you're the one that brought her up.
Yeah. Who's this
Why are you
Deja?
talking about? I don't know. Is she hot?
I think you need to see. I think electroshock therapy. Now,
Yeah.
let's fry his brain.
I'll run over. I'll administer.
Yeah.
Why do you guys love threatening me so much?
It's just really fun.
Yeah. And
No,
you
I
also
get
just
that.
put the ball on the tee. You set us up for it.
Okay, good. I accept that reasoning. Yeah.
No, it's not fun
Okay,
anymore.
Kyle, number 5.
Yep. This is someone that I wouldn't be surprised if was higher on your guys' lists. This is a Philadelphia 76ers center.
Yep, he's higher on my list.
Yep. Joel.
5?
Yeah. Okay. Look. Okay. Again, for our true fans, you know that we've already done my top 5 least favorite players. It was a
Fair.
blind ranking. And I mentioned that this player would be in my top 5. And I did not alter much from my top 5 from that, other than Damian Lillard being an honorable mention. But yes, I do not like Joel Embiid. Just sorry, like point blank period. He somehow always torches us. He is, again, if we're talking about this archetype of whiny, bitchy, complainer, he literally, I am not joking with you, my friends at home, he quite literally complained his way to an MVP.
Yes, this is true.
He is the definition of a bitch. Like this, it hurts my soul watching him on the basketball court. Also, he has not made an Eastern Conference Finals, just at all,
Ever.
ever. He has no
Tyler-
substance to his career.
You make incredible points. Why is he only at number 5?
Because I have
That's
4
my
guys
rank.
that I hate more than him. Again, I am full of hate in the NBA because I see it happen on my screen, and I just my blood boils.
Cameron, I think we have Joel Embiid in the same location.
I think there's a chance of that.
I don't know who this guy is you're talking about. Joel Embiid? No, his name is Joel Embiid. Or
Joel
Joel
Embiid.
Bitch.
I was going to say Joel
Yeah.
and Bitch.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, just like, ugh, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we know more than you, apparently.
We know. We
Yep.
know. All right, at number 5, I have the final guy in the archetype, the prototype, the original, one might say. I couldn't think of any more names for him. It's Draymond Green.
Yeah.
The only reason he's not higher is because I really hate some of these other guys, and also I have to acknowledge how integral he was to those Warriors championships.
And you have to acknowledge his LeBron sexuality.
True. He can recognize greatness, and he does on a sexual level with LeBron James. And I have to give him a little bit of slack because he is a Michigan State Spartan. So I gotta put a little bit on there. At number 4, I don't think you guys have this name anywhere near your list. And I think once I say it, you're gonna be like, oh fuck. Number 4, I fucking hate this guy. Give me Ennis Freedom Cantor.
He's still in the league?
No. This is an all-time list.
This
was an all-time list?
You fucking idiot.
You know how to read?
Hold on.
We both said Pat Bev.
Yeah.
I thought he was back. I totally thought he was back in the league.
No.
Damn.
He took his talents to the East Bank and then got kicked out.
He's like, who the fuck want me? No one.
True. I forgot about that.
Except for Dave Portnoy.
Fucking hate Ennis Cantor. Mainly because
incredibly justifiable.
He was already kind of weird as a player, but once he retired,
great offensive rebounder, terrible at everything else.
Once he retired, he just became a full grifter. And usually I respect people grifting, like for the act of grifting, because it's like, okay, especially if it's right, if it's right wing grifting, get your bag, go take money from the Cokes, and then retire. But you just played in the NBA. You have money. You had multiple contracts in the NBA. Money is not like an issue for you.
Problem.
So my issue with him is that he is doing it for the love of the game. And that's a problem.
That is a problem.
That's not a game you should love. Fuck Ennis Cantor. And he prefers to be called Freedom, and so I'm not going to call him that. Fuck you.
True. All right.
At least I'm free of seeing his dumb ass on the court.
True. All right.
Don't worry, we have a new Ennis Cantor in Denny Optia, but...
True. Fucking...
He barely missed my list as well. I don't like him. I haven't seen enough of him to hate him, but I don't like him.
Why? Because of his nationality racist?
Yeah, that's it.
Totally. A little bit, yeah. Okay, number 4 for little old me. Should not be a surprise if we reference our blind rankings. Christian Braun. Fuck.
Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I hate him. I do not like him. Again, just look at his stupid face. It's just... I could punch it. I could punch it so hard. It would feel so good. I actually think if I did that, it would like solve world hunger. It would create world peace. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is. His aura. There was a rumor that he was dating like Gia Duddy. What the fuck is that? How does he do that? Will Levis's former girlfriend, who went viral for being really hot. Yeah, and was it at the draft when he fell? And yeah, so now apparently he's dating her, and that's fucked up. That's fucked up. How did that happen? Why does he get to do that? Why is it not me?
Because he went straight from an NCAA championship to
an NBA championship. And he won every year in high school. He won he won in college. He's a winner, and he's so smug. He's so he exudes just like a pure douchebag aura. I have absolutely zero grounds to prove that he's a douchebag, other than like his on-court antics, which is not enough to prove that he's a douchebag at heart. I don't fucking like him.
Number 4 to you, Cameron.
Yeah, I have a player I don't think you guys are going to have on your lists, but he said one thing after leaving my favorite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, that instantly shot him up my rankings. Minnesota held me back, famously said by D'Angelo Russell, known for his season on the Brooklyn Nets bench. Is Minnesota still holding you back, buddy?
He's still loading.
He's still loading. It has been, 10, 11 years now?
Almost, I think, 11 years now.
He's yet to load.
He after he left Minnesota, he just talked so much shit and could not back it up whatsoever on the court.
It's the D'Lo experience.
Moving up to number 3,
Top threes.
Yep, in my notes, I just wrote down Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. Karl Malone. I don't think I really need to explain why he's here. Yeah.
Karl Malone.
Is he playing basketball right now?
Yes.
No, because I think the game's over.
No.
I think the game is over. I believe something has happened.
The Wolves lost by 11.
We said no spoilers.
We don't have an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Not yet. That's
We'd
coming
have
out
a
season
Patreon.
2.
Yeah. So yeah, Draymond Green, he just fucking sucks. Like, again, talk about whiny, crying in national media. He cried so much that they came up with an award for him, which is the Hustle Award. I don't think they actually came up with it for him. I think that's been around for a few years, but I think it's been.
Mike Conley won
it. Yeah, I know. But
yeah,
for
but
that
he
award
earned that
in
one.
particular,
Yes,
Mike Conley earned it. For this one, this year in particular, Draymond Green was not top 10 in any of the hustle metrics that were listed on NBA.com. It's like, hey, this is what we're tracking for the Hustle Award. So he literally complained and cried his way on national TV to the Hustle Award. He also,
and to being a DPOY finalist.
Yes, to being a DPOY finalist.
No reason he should have been
with
there.
no real metrics to back it up. He punched his teammate. He choked out Rudy Gobert. He kicks Steven Adams in the nuts. He stepped on Domantas Sabonis. He
beat the
assaulted
shit out of
Nurkic. Yeah.
That's
he had
fair.
to go.
Nurkic is kind of a pussy.
A little bit.
Yeah, but don't open hand smack him.
Yeah, that's
call him a bitch like a normal adult.
Yeah, just trash talk him like a human being. He is the only player in NBA history to be indefinitely suspended by the league and had to go through a rehabilitation program for how awful he is to other players. Like, just awful human being. Again, I don't know what he is like truly like off the court, but on the court and within the NBA circle, he is a bad man, and it's not cool. And I don't like things that are not cool.
He is a bronzexual, though.
He is a bronzexual.
Yes, he is a bronzexual. That's why he's not number 1.
Look, number 3. You want to talk about whining. This guy whined his way off of at least 3 NBA teams. I'm, of course, talking about the decorated military veteran, General Soreness, Jimmy Butler III. I mean, what else? What have we not said on this podcast about why Jimmy Butler sucks? I hate him, of course.
Yeah.
But it's also there's a very deep-seated, like, constantly burning rage for me towards Jimmy Butler of just like I could point to specific things about how he antagonizes his teammates, how he doesn't care about the regular season, this, that, and the other thing. But I think a more accurate description of what I hate about Jimmy Butler is everything. Like, I could name specific things, but it wouldn't do justice to what I hate about Jimmy Butler, which is the fact that he's Jimmy Butler. And I fucking hate him.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, that's incredibly valid. I will have things to say about Jimmy Butler here later. So don't worry. I can back you up on that one.
He's not on my list.
Fuck you. I'm sorry. Fuck you. You idiot.
You were looking for players to hate, and you didn't think of Jimmy Butler.
After all the time I've spent in my life complaining about Jimmy Butler,
That 2020 bubble playoff run was so electric.
let
Don't
the
care.
record show.
Don't care.
Let the
made me
record
a fan.
show.
They lost.
Let the record show that Cameron Venmoed me $10 after that series in 2020 because he thought that the Heat were going to win it, and I told him you were a fucking idiot, and we put $10 on it, and I spent that very wisely.
Probably on beer.
Yes.
But moving up to number 2, he has been mentioned. Another whiny little bitch, but this guy, it's much more visceral. It's Devin Booker.
Mhm.
It's Devin Booker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you
fucking
mean Devin Booker.
Yes, sorry, Devin Booker.
Actually, I think Rudy Gobert grandson would be more accurate.
Fair point.
True.
But here's the thing about D-Boob.
I like that.
Deep.
Big boob.
I don't like the Suns. I already don't like the Suns. So
I mean,
that's a
there are
knock against
Suns,
him.
so
I also don't like that there are still narratives, or at least last year even, there were still narratives of actually, where are my glasses? I want to put them on. Hold on. Actually, if you look at the statistics, Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the NBA. Fuck you. Punch.
True.
I punched the nerd.
Devin Booker did a punch.
I
Devin
punched
Booker
the
did a
nerd.
Mike Conley in the quit bench.
He's not it. He is not it. He was not it. He got cooked by Luka. He is just a bomb.
I'm going to go as far as to say
he's a whiny little bitch. And I know you think that Christian Brown has the most punchable face. Devin Booker. To
if
me,
I recall, like, he was the reason that this whole discussion topic exists, was because I think we were both watching one of those games and it's like, God, he's just got such a punchable face.
yes.
Yeah.
And
I believe he was the origin of it.
Mhm.
I was
And
going to
he's
go as
such
far
a-
as to say he's kind of washed.
yeah.
I hate to throw that out lightly because you know me, I don't throw that out lightly.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you
No, I
do.
don't. No. Nuh-uh. I do not throw that out lightly.
He's also, you know what's even worse? I can take a whiner if they're like, come on. You know what Devin Booker does? He pouts
Yeah, he
like a
stomps his
child.
feet.
He
Wham.
throws a little crybaby temper tantrum instead of having the cojones to crash out like a real motherfucker and get the tech and go get tossed.
Yeah, look at Catman.
No.
Look at your teammate from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Instead, he's just fuck you. Show some passion if you're gonna be a shitty person. Fuck Devin.
Yeah.
Kyle.
All right. Oh boy. This guy, we all know how much I love to hate this man. Mr. SGA, Mr. Shit Gay Ass. There is
Over Embiid is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Yeah, I know. Again, I don't know what it is. I can't control it. It's just a natural reaction for me to just hate SGA. I think a big part of why I hate him so much is that just general media has to shove him down our throats every day. Like, if I'm just watching casual TV, and again, I'm not watching NBA stuff if I'm watching casual TV. Maybe it's just, getting like, Family Guy on Hulu, and I get an ad. It's fucking
Yes.
SGA. Like, if I'm watching, I don't know, some other sitcom on like Fox, it's an SGA ad. SGA is just everywhere. I don't think that he deserves to be everywhere. He plays for fucking Oklahoma City. He shouldn't be this huge national market guy. I know he's really good at basketball.
City has like a surprisingly large population.
And they
It's
have
Yeah,
the
but
worst
did-
skyline
did-
in America.
Did Russ get this big of a media presser? No. And he was a better. Russ, that era of Russ, I'd take that era of Russ over SGA.
I would not.
Yes, I would. And it's my list that we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
The only other like
but
comparable
I'm just
like
saying, like, you
OKC
can
guy
use
would
that
be like
argument
KD.
against Ant.
Yeah, true, absolutely.
So I
But
don't really like
Ant
it.
is cooler. Ant has more aura.
Also,
SGA is fake aura.
There's no Antosaurus Jurassic Park ad out right now. That's pure utter garbage.
Yeah.
Dog
This
shit.
is true. This is true.
This is true. Ant does have a really fire commercial line with Sprite, with KG. He also has a Chipotle commercial line, and that picture of him serving the burrito is so funny.
Not to
SGA
mention
doesn't have
the
that.
Adidas.
Oh
Yeah.
god, the Adidas ads are so good.
Again, like Ant's ads are good. They are fun. They are enjoyable. SGA's ads all suck.
They're
Like
cringy.
the fucking what a pro
What a pro
wants.
wants.
What a pro
needs.
needs.
Or
Yeah,
the
like-
Me when I'm
him,
Chet Holmgren
J-Dub and Chet Holmgren
suck.
wearing a blue outfit together.
Yeah,
and
Yes.
that's their new one.
we talked about this in the group chat.
Yeah. I hate it.
It's like,
It's
shut
so-
the fuck up.
Yes. Yes. That is why he's at 2. I don't want to hear it anymore. He's now becoming the voice in my head because it's just everywhere. And I don't like it.
I do think it's fair that you can't act whimsy at times, but also try and act like you're tough. Like, you gotta fully embrace the whimsy, like me.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Tyrese Halliburton and Scotty Barnes, who
Yes.
are whimsical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Jared McCain.
try and be
Yes.
full of aura. You can't do both.
Yes. Pick your lane. And I think if SGA committed to being whimsical, I think
I
it'd be
might enjoy
very
him.
different. I'm going to say, I think he'd be a much more enjoyable player. Or if he committed to being Aura SGA, it'd be much easier to know where
Like
to slot
root
him.
for him. Yeah.
But no.
Also,
He
he's
tries
a crypto
to-
merchant.
He tries to get the fucking child like ha 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 with his fucking post game pressers with the whole team,
Mhm.
and then he tries to aura
Again,
farm.
a lot of it is like it just seems disingenuous to me. So yeah, I don't like him. I truly don't.
All right, Cameron.
At number 2, I've got Klay Thompson, former Golden State Warrior, current Dallas
Yeah.
Maverick. There was just one game after the Warriors won their championship in 2022. It was like one of the very early games in the 2023 season. The Warriors were down by a lot, and Klay Thompson was on the bench just like... And just ever since then, I was just like, oh, fuck you. And
He also did some nasty things to you.
In 2017.
yeah, not gonna get into that. But
Mhm.
Check the Twitters.
not a fan of Klay Thompson whatsoever. Just I understand the rage you feel towards Jason Tatum when I look at Klay Thompson. I'm just like, oh, come on, just fuck you. Just every
Yeah.
single time.
Cameron-
Not to mention that he missed 10 threes in a game.
Elimination
game.
Elimination game.
I think, Cameron, we can just combine our next segments.
Yeah.
At number 1, I got Barry Keoghan. He cheated on Sabrina Carpenter.
You
He
can't do that,
manspread it
man.
into Claro's legroom. And then he thinks he gets to be Ringo. He also looks like he just ate a lemon, always. I say shoot him into the sun.
Agreed.
And now for my least favorite basketball player. Yeah. Ryan, let's get to it.
Do you want to do the honors?
Joel Embiid.
It is Joel Embiid.
Kyle, you were with me the moment I started hating on Joel Embiid.
Yes.
In our dorm room, we were watching the Wolves versus the Sixers.
Yep.
Joel Embiid dunked on Cat. He got on the ground and he did the hip thrust.
Yeah.
Ever since
was-
then, I was like, no. Later that game, Cat posted him. Embiid was like doing the T pose.
Mhm.
That was my phone wallpaper for a while.
He hit the Family Guy
Um,
death pose.
He did. It's yeah.
What?
Kyle talked about it a lot earlier. Complained as I do an MVP. Complains every single time he touches the court. Has never made it to a conference final. Luka Garza made a conference finals appearance before he did.
Mm-hmm.
Just fuck you.
The other thing, and this tends to be the case, I've realized with a lot of these, if the media didn't just ride his cock like there
Like
was
no
no
tomorrow.
tomorrow, like he wasn't, like he was the god of basketball, like
You
you'd
can.
think
It's like it's
you'd
okay to admit that he is a whiny little baby that sucks cock.
yeah, like it's
Yeah,
okay to admit that, and it's okay, like media, it's okay to say yes, he put up 40 points, 18 of them at least were at the foul line, at least. He does not
truly.
play. He is the, I feel like, of the modern era, modern of like the last 5 years of the NBA, he is Mr. Foul Merchant.
Yes.
He is.
Hmm.
The crown went from Rockets James Harden to Joel Embiid. Except
Hmm.
when Joel Embiid does it, because he's a big, what he has to do is every shot he has to go,
And that's being generous.
because he should be just fucking big and strong enough to not get bothered by it, which is what you see when the few times that Rudy Gobert does go up, he goes up and he goes through. That was the same thing with Cat when he was in Minnesota, like those last couple of years. If he goes up, he doesn't get foul calls because he goes up and he goes through. Whereas if you on Joel Embiid's arm, he acts like he has a fucking broken. He broke his ulnar bone
Hmm.
by going.
He's very close to missing 50% of his career games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And fun statistic for my stat heads at home. Since the year of 2014, Carmelo Anthony has played more games than Joel Embiid.
And that's why Carmelo Anthony might be top 25 player of all time.
Probably.
Higher than Joel all time. I'll
Yep.
tell you that.
Hell yeah.
I'm a Carmelo head. I'll get behind the
Yeah.
Carmelo
We
train.
love Carmelo.
Kyle, go
And
ahead and
also,
talk about Jimmy.
Yeah.
yeah, fucking James Butler. Fucking butt fucker. I hate him so much. When I started really paying attention to basketball, it was, I want to say it would be the 2016 draft, 2016, 2017, whenever Jimmy Butler got traded to Minnesota from Chicago. That was like my moment. I'm like, oh my God, the Wolves are back, baby. Before it even happened, before we even talked about the Wolves being back. So it was like,
Wasn't that
I want to say it was 2016.
yeah, 16, 17 season right before
Yep.
that?
Hmm. So it was like going into that year. I want to say it was like I was a freshman in high school, like, in that ballpark. That's when I started paying attention to basketball. And that first year that Jimmy was here, sunshine and rainbows. We finally made it to the playoffs. We didn't have the best series against the Rockets, but we were looking up. We had a lot of great young talent. And then that fucking practice where he torched the starters with the third stringers. Again, we all know the story. We all know what happened. He went and cried to Rachel Nichols immediately after and said, the Timberwolves franchise is a shithole, this, that, the other. And the second that that happened, I have vowed to never forget the atrocities that he has committed in the state of Minnesota.
Atrocities?
The what?
Yeah, shut up. The atrocities. I can't.
There
I'm
you
tired.
go, buddy.
I'm tired. We've been recording for 2 hours.
Yeah.
The atrocities that that man has in his heart that he commits on a daily basis. And again, the saga to get him out of Minnesota, he fucked us over because we got no substance of players. The best player that we got out of his trade package was Robert Covington at the time for immediate impact. Obviously, we got picks, but that it took us a while to get to where we are right now. And we would have been where we are right now at the time if he just wasn't a diva baby bitch. He did it again in Philadelphia, claiming that everybody's a liar. They don't care about him. They don't want to pay him. And he went to Miami. Obviously made the finals with Miami and lost
Twice.
twice. And then immediately complained, "Oh, it's the organization's fault. The organization sucks." Dude, I'm just saying, man to man here, Jimmy. If
You don't think he's a
are
man?
claiming, I don't think he's a man. I think that he is subhuman. But just figuratively speaking, man to man here, if you are saying that it's the organization's fault 3 times in a row, that's 1/10 of the NBA saying that 1/10 of the NBA that you have been on it's their fault.
And you're
And
just
it's not
getting
your fault.
unlucky every time with the
Yeah,
team.
you've just gotten unlucky
Yeah.
with, again, one of the most historic franchises in the NBA, which is the Miami Heat. Granted, the
With a
Timberwolves at the
top-
time, yes.
With
But,
a
again,
top, 5 coach of all time in Spo?
Yeah.
In Miami, he went there as a free agent. He chose to go there. He was not
Yes.
traded.
Yeah, like, this can't be the NBA's fault every single time. Like, again, I'm excited to see him do it for a 4th time with Golden State, because that's when people are finally going to start realizing that this is Jimmy's fault. Like, because the Golden State Warriors are not mismanaged in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. He and
'Cause, again,
Draymond are
they
going to get in
won.
a fight at some point.
Yes.
And they did not re-sign Klay Thompson.
Yes. Like, there's so many things that are stacked to disprove him, and I am waiting for the shoe to drop. Like, I hate Jimmy Butler. He did us so wrong. He was the first franchise guy that I could hold on to, and he left us high and dry just because he is a bitch.
Well, speaking of Jimmy Butler,
He put up almost a triple-double tonight.
yeah, we
fucking
have to
hate him.
acknowledge. Let's go ahead. Let's make our way back to round 2 of the playoffs. Get the rest of our predictions in, and then get to a very exciting album of the week from Cameron this week. But I don't want to spoil anything there. But over to the West. Let's go ahead. Let's start with the series that just finished up. Just got started. Timberwolves, Warriors. The first time a 6 and 7 seed have played each other in the playoffs in 18 years or something. It's been a long time. Cameron, do you want to read off our predictions?
Crazy out there, absolutely wild take from us. We all said the Timberwolves are going to win. I said in 5 games. Kyle said in 5 games. Ryan said in 6 games. Game 1 just finished, and the Timberwolves did not look great. They ended the Lakers series by shooting poorly, and they started this series by shooting even worse. Anthony Edwards was just atrocious. There was no offense going for the Wolves. I believe they only scored 11 points in the second quarter.
Look,
was not a great start for them.
Yeah. I think in reality, if you're a Timberwolves fan, you look at this like you look at the Boston game.
Mm-hmm.
You shot 5 for 30 from
that
3.
Won't happen again.
You shot 17%. Even a bad NBA 3-point shooting night is in the 20s at least. And you lost
unless
by
your name
11.
is Orlando.
Unless your name is Orlando, and then you have no 3-point shooters at all, and but
and your
then
team average is 20.
You have structural deficiencies at that point. But Minnesota, they're not going to shoot that poorly again. We'll see how long Steph is out. Steph went out in this game with a hip injury, I believe.
Hamstring strain.
So we'll see how long he's out. But Ant kind of picked it up in the back half, but you can't have that second quarter and expect to win a game.
Yeah.
I think that's for the Wolves to win in 6. This was their wake-up game. They got a comeback game 2. They'll probably lose one of the next one of game 3 and 4
away games.
Yeah. But then I think they win back home court in probably game 3, and then they finish it out in 6 with the momentum. But you gotta, I hate to sound like the Lakers fans sounded, Wolves in 6 means you have to lose 2. So,
true.
Are we going to shoot 17% from 3 again? Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Really, hopefully not. I think the one thing that we have heard year-round for the Wolves is that it's all mental. And I hate that this is still happening in the playoffs, that we're losing our own mental game. It's not, again, we're not scared of the Warriors. Again, everybody was saying we should have been scared.
Rudy's a little bit scared of Draymond.
Well, okay, that's not a basketball-related reason. He's scared that he's going to get assaulted, which is a different problem.
We did get out-rebounded this game as well, which...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The Wolves started off the game rebounding really well,
pretty well.
But...
So again, it's like we get in our own heads. We psych ourselves out. And again, I think that's what's happening with the three. It's almost like we just don't want to mess up, so it causes us to mess up. We overthink it. We analyze it way too heavy, and like we put too much weight into it. When in reality, again, we're playing basketball. That's all it is. It's the game we've been playing all year, and just because it's right now doesn't make it any different. So I just want to make sure that like our coaching staff, I know they're there, I know they're working hard, and they're keeping them in it. But I just need them to really hone in on that and eliminate the mental block that we're in, because we kind of were in it in Game 5 for the Lakers. So my question was always like, what have we been doing since Game 5 that we're still shooting this poorly from three? Where are we coaching to?
Finchie pulled out the big guns. He was in call out mode in the post game presser.
Oh, okay, that's good news.
He
I'm
called
gonna
out
have to check that out.
He called out Ant multiple times. Said,
yeah, that's what we need.
It wasn't his light went off. You can't start a playoff series like that. He's the leader. He has to set the tone. So,
yeah,
let's hope he.
That's
does.
where the coaches are at, and that's what I like. Yeah.
But
going forward in the series, just shoot better, play with more aggression, and get out of your own head. This team is very defeatable.
Oh, for sure. The Rockets
took them to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolves,
yeah.
The Wolves should win, but this would be a very Timberwolves series to lose. It would be very Minnesota. But that's the curse we live by. And finally, in the Western Conference, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder are taking on the, I almost said defending champions, but that was 2 years ago, Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Now everybody knows this is going to be a series of the MVPs, yep. SGA and Aaron Gordon.
True.
Holy shit. Aaron fucking Gordon. First, Cameron, you want to give us our predictions, and then let's talk about Aaron Gordon being the MVP of the Nuggets.
Surprisingly, we all took the Oklahoma City Thunder. Me and Ryan said in 6 games. Kyle said in 5 games. Go share your joy for Aaron Gordon.
I love this because Aaron Gordon is the pinnacle, like, role guy of like, I know what my job is, and I'm so fucking good at my job.
Yes.
And I don't try to do things that are not my job. My job is sit in the dunker spot when we're playing that kind of offense. Otherwise, I sit in the corner 3 and I pop up shots when teams eventually have to double Jokic. That's my job. And I play defense perfect. And he doesn't try to be a ball handler. He's not trying looking out of his way to make hero plays. He makes the right plays. I love it for him, especially because since he did lose those dunk contests to Zach LaVine, I love seeing the success for him. Go, Aaron.
I do just want to take a quick pause here. Zach LaVine did deserve to win one of those dunk contests, so don't give him too much sympathy there.
I like Aaron Gordon.
Um,
Anyone who suffers on that Magic team at that time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, if Russell Westbrook was 3 years younger at the end of that game 1, he would have just taken it to the rack, but instead he makes a smart basketball decision, passes it out to a shooter who's wide open. Aaron Gordon drills it, and that doesn't tie the game. That wins the game for the Nuggets, avoiding overtime entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Gordon was great. Russell Westbrook was great. Jokic was great. I think on OKC's side, at least in game 1, the only player I can say was great was Alex Caruso. Shea put up points, but it wasn't on great efficiency.
I was to say, it just didn't seem like OKC had a lot going. Like,
yeah, they also haven't played basketball in like a week and a half, so a little bit of rust to shake off. The Nuggets just came out of a 7-game series, so they're very warm.
So yeah, it's just more to get through.
I think this shows that Denver has more fight than maybe Kyle was giving them credit for, and a lot of people, but I still don't think the outcome of the series is going to be any different.
No.
Honorable mention to Minnesota boy Chet Holmgren for having the least. Tatum had one of the worst clutch performances I saw, and then I watched the game that happened immediately after and saw what Chet Holmgren did. He
Yeah.
was just absolutely atrocious in the fourth quarter. Missed two key free throws. Missed a couple big shots before then. Go home and eat your oxtail and greens, buddy.
Yeah, and your ribs for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic Minnesota cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, Cameron, you summed it up pretty well there. I think this Nuggets team is feisty. There's going to be a game where Nikola Jokic says, I am basketball Jesus, and puts the Nuggets on his back. We've already had the Aaron Gordon game winner, but Oklahoma City is still, they were the number one seed far and away for a reason. And I don't see them failing to try to figure out how to beat this Denver team.
Yeah, I
This
think
Denver
they
team
lose
is not
one, now they're locked in.
This Denver team is not the Denver team from 2 years ago. We've been saying it all season. They're still good because they have Nikola Jokic. They're just not the same. They're exploitable. The Clippers proved it. If the Clippers didn't have playoff James Harden, they'd be playing the Thunder right now. So this team is very beatable. And Oklahoma City is basketball fucking... They are the Monstars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I give them it'll be a tough fought 6. But no. All right, so we are locked in. We are on record. Our predictions are set in stone and also set on Cameron's notebook and our text chain.
Mm-hmm.
No going back. We got to hold ourselves to these, even when Kyle fails to catch up to me and Cameron. But
It'd be like that.
the only way we're going to know is by watching the games. Oh no, we have to watch basketball. Oh, how could they?
This second round has been so, other than this Wolves game that just happened, every other game has been a movie.
We have to watch playoff basketball, electric playoff basketball. Adam Silver, how could you do this to us? No. But before we get to that, you know what time it is. It's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's time for Cameron's Album of the Week. Cameron, what have you got for us this week?
I was not really prepared throughout the last week when picking an album for this episode, so I just said, fuck it. I'm going to talk about my favorite album of all time. Pinkerton by Weezer. I want to get at least something from here tattooed on me at some point within the next 3 business years.
As opposed to 3 fiscal years?
Yeah. Well, weekends don't count. I can't get a tattoo on weekends.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you can. It's probably just going to be illegal and really shitty.
No, I'll be too drunk.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Beers? Is that what the people like?
Beer?
I hear about
like those.
Is that...
Beer is
people
pretty cool.
drinking those Coors thingies?
Oh, yeah. For the record, Bisportuals viewers, we are a Coors friend group.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, so Pinkerton by Weezer. This is their second studio album. Weezer is a rock band from Los Angeles. They formed in 1992, fronted by Rivers Cuomo, who does vocals, guitar, keyboard. He's supported by Patrick Wilson on drums, who has been with him the entire time, still an active member of the band. Brian Bell on guitar. He joined a little bit later, joined during the recording of their first album due to a couple issues with the 2 guitarists before him, but Brian Bell is still with the band. Finally, Matt Sharp playing the bass. He only was with Weezer for their first 2 albums. So their first album, released in 1994, blew up on MTV, got them into the scene, got their name known. After that, Rivers Cuomo started going to school at Harvard, and during this first semester there, he said he felt a lot of isolation, loneliness, especially since he just broke a leg, recovering from surgery. He couldn't really do anything, and a lot of this album was written during that time. It was released in 1996 to, what is the opposite of critical acclaim?
It was panned by the critics.
Critical Dismay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, did not sell very well at all. A lot of people didn't like it. It was voted on. Some publication did a poll. It was voted one of the worst albums of the '90s in general, or maybe it was just that year. But yeah, the album named Pinkerton is named after the villain in the opera Madame Butterfly, which was in White Lotus season 2, I think. Yeah, was not received very critically, but gained a cult following and is just slowly rose. Like people discovered, oh wait, this shit is actually awesome because it is. It's super cool. It gained in popularity. Now a lot of publications have it listed as one of the best albums of the '90s. I completely agree. Yeah, just this was one of the first like great what could be classified as emo rock albums before the emo movement was really even a thing, alongside bands like Sunny Day Real Estate and Jimmy Eat World. Every song on here is awesome. I think the 5-track run from uh, Across the Sea, The Good Life, El Scorcho, Pink Triangle, and Falling for You, that 5-track run is my favorite ever. All of those songs are incredible. This is my go-to album when I'm just driving and I don't know what to listen to. Just singing along with this in the car is so much fun. I don't know, just the loud, grungy sounds, the almost embarrassing lyrics. I don't really know what else to say. You just gotta listen to it. You gotta rock out to it. You gotta appreciate the musicianship that also went into it. They do create some pretty awesome like riffs, sonic landscapes, especially in the song "No Other One," the third track. Just like when the guitar first comes in, it is so good. My favorite track is probably "Across the Sea," which is about Rivers receiving a letter from a 18-year-old girl in Japan and just wondering everything about her, wondering why she's so far away that he can't ever be with her. Uh, does get a little weird at times, but it just sounds incredible. I don't know, just I don't think there's a bad song. I think they're all great. Tired of Sex, the opening track, just the noise, distortion, and just pure like lower frequencies of the guitar make it so like growly and awesome. Check it out. Best
Yeah.
album ever. Incredible.
I want to shout out that same track, "Across the Sea," on my list, and it was my favorite. Um, I'll be honest, the front of the album was not my favorite, but once you got into that run you're talking about, like starting with "Why Bother" through "El Scorcho," um, I loved.
You don't
Uh,
like Pink Triangle?
I think it's
Okay,
good.
wait. Is Pink Triangle the one where he's like, "I'm dumb, she's a lesbian"?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's
I thought I
hilarious.
had found the one. Turns out she wasn't actually a lesbian. She was just an ally he never asked.
But I did that little. Once I got past "Get You" is just not my favorite track on there. Um, once I got past that, the album peaked up for sure. A lot of great tracks on there. It is. It's Weezer. You can tell it's Weezer. Um,
Awesome.
the vocal stylings uh, are very Weezer. Um, so if you like it's like Cameron talked about, it's more, it feels less polish than the Blue Album did. Um, and you talk about it's more of in that like emo kind
Emo
of
rock, yeah.
rock, alt rock,
I like how
grunge.
messy it
Yeah.
is. I
Mm-hmm.
like how compared to even like 2 albums after this, the lyrics are so much more personal, which is a big reason why Rivers didn't like this album either, because it was very personal to him and it was not appreciated by the public.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you like One, if you like Weezer, it's
if you
Weezer.
like music, check this out. It is music.
Uh,
So
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I'm not
if
gonna
you
go
have
that far.
ears, check this out. I'm gonna go that far.
Yeah,
these are
pump
the
brakes
breaks.
on that
I'm
one.
pumping them.
Yeah.
No. If you
Um,
have ears, check this one out.
So I'm gonna jump in here. I'm just gonna say a few words so that we can get on out of here. Um, I listened to this in the shower primarily yesterday, and was just listening to it as I was going through my morning routine.
Listen in the car.
Okay. Um, I agree that I really think that the album starts at like Across the Sea, and like those first
You
4
guys will
tracks.
appreciate Tired of Sex. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I just don't know. Like it was a hard start for me, and then the thought that always came back to my mind in these first couple of songs, I think particularly in No Other One, I was like, okay, I get it. Like it was, to me, it felt very repetitive. It felt very just like disingenuous. And it was just like, I was like, okay, like let's go, like let's do something else here. I was like, I get it. I had that just like sentiment going into it, and then again, Across the Sea, great song. I liked El Scorcho. That was a really fun song.
El
And then,
Scorcho is so much fun.
yep. So again, there's good music here. Absolutely. I definitely don't agree that it's like a perfect album or, one of the best albums of all time, or even, again,
Did you just womp womp? No, I'm kidding.
It was a bad take.
Again, we can disagree on this. Art is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm
That's
and
not
saying
my
this
phrase.
is objectively incredible.
Objectively, this is not incredible. Objectively, this is an
Objectively.
album from the 90s, and it does good things.
By the band Weezer.
Yeah, by the band Weezer. So again, it takes some, patience on this album to get into the good stuff, but once you get into the good stuff, it is pretty good.
Not unless you're awesome. If you're awesome, you'll get it right away.
Dude, my username for like all my video games for years was, the ending of it is just I'm awesome. Like
Super Dude is awesome.
yes.
Super Dude is awesome.
So you can't say that I'm not awesome because
You just failed the awesome litmus test.
Awesome people don't have to say they're awesome.
I
True.
don't say I'm awesome. I say that
You literally just said you're awesome. Because you said if you are awesome, you will enjoy this album. And you enjoy this
Well,
album.
yeah.
And
I
with
didn't
that,
get it at first either. So
and with that, I want to thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy days to listen to our podcast. If you're listening to this on release, I hope you have a wonderful Friday. If you're listening to it during the weekend, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're listening to it during the week, I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to us ramble about sports and the NBA specifically, and getting our hate out in this episode. It's a very visceral episode. for us.
Cathartic.
a very chunky part of the episode dedicated to disrespecting other human beings.
Yeah, but they had it coming. Fuck you, Joel Embiid. And with that, thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. I was not ready for that. I just, nothing could prepare me for that.